Anybody's interested in popping up here on panel with me to talk and slash or smoke, then here is the link. Like I said, if anybody wants to pop up and bullshit with me, there's the link in the chat. Topical, not personal. Let's not talk bullshit about other Canna community. Hard time with going on. Bird tail. I see a bird tail. There it is. He's working his way down the Tropsanto. Tropsanto. The old camera fit basically from there to about there. That door frame right there is warped in this way. If anybody's out there, they tell me how my sound sounds this morning. I'm still working on zeroing it in, trying to get rid of the static and stuff like that in the background. Hey, Magical Garden, how's it going, man? I'm getting ready for my for a lunchtime hooter. I'm gonna roll me one with some shatter in the middle. Eye goop coming out. There's all kinds of stuff blooming here. Yeah, the yard is quite full of stuff that's blooming, including my marijuana plant. They all appear to be female at this point, but one is not. Glad you're doing good. It's always a good thing when folks are doing it. About people long dead and people, it's been fucking years since I've seen them, and in-person duty sesh. Sorry about that. I turned stuff down trying to get rid of the hiss. If I talk right into the mic, is it better? It should be better if I talk right into the mic. It's fade out when I look away over here and talk over in this direction. And I'm mumbling a little bit because I talking about being bummed about having no one to go fucking hang out with and shit, and it's stupid shit. I know I can't go hang out with no one right now because of the COVID, but it sure would be nice to go be able to sit with someone and pass this around a circle or something. A lot of my friends that I had moved out of town too. I mean, this town is known for trapping certain types of people. If people don't get out of it, they can't stop doing what they do. Nice day out though. A little bit cool still. We're supposed to get up into the 80s by this weekend. My bird's up in the window peeking at me from behind the curtain. Little one's singing. I think he wants me to feed him. I haven't fed yet today, but he can wait. Yeah, it is. I'm in Arizona. You know, like it's a hot place. I wish I could read the screen without my glasses on so much. Buds I'm smoking are a Growers Blend Shake Flower. I got a half ounce of shake flour for $45, which is, it's not true shake. It's the little bitty tiny buds from the trimming. Just little clumps, little tiny buds. You know, when first time I bought shake, I was expecting goddamn shake, like fucking loose ground bud kind of thing. I don't know how close I am to Pilgore. I'm not sure where Pilgore's at, but same state, yeah. It doesn't taste like larf. It tastes like trim, like where they made the big buds pretty. Might be trim and larf. Hello, Kiwi. How's it going? Yeah. Oh, indeed. It's my first smoke of the day, so feels pretty good. Oh, that one hit the bottom. You at 8:47 a.m. Yeah, we're at just afternoon. I'm up here by myself. What I can do, though I don't know the settings yet, is I can play us some royalty free music. I don't know how sensitive my mic is to this music. So I don't know how yet to run my system through my sound software. Right on. Have a good one, Magical Gardens. Enjoy your dinner. If anybody wants to come up and chat, you're welcome to. Good stuff. I like my new camera. I like the fact that it doesn't run at about 6 frames per second. Instead, it's 30 frames per second. about the standard of TV. What you wanna be, do what you wanna do. Oh, set that down for a second. I didn't bring a drink in. I'm an idiot. Maybe I should go get me a drink. My old camera had a pivot. I could turn it so that it would let me point it towards the bird cages. This one doesn't. But I don't know. Maybe I could use the stands on the TV that grabs onto the TV. Mike could use that as a stand. If that's the case, that'd be kind of cool. Can't do that on the old one. There's this big, weird, fucking rubbery, fucking curved thing, all rounded and shit. Thought things were future. The future was round, I guess, when they made that. No, I have people up sometimes. I was thinking about fixing my old cam up as a bird cam. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Having like a down right here in the corner or something. Just a bird cam. I'm double broadcasting right now, Kiwi Bear. I'm on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Thank you. If I did it through my OBS, I could pipe my OBS into the StreamYards and then have him in a corner even when I'm small to one side of the screen, like down or up here when I'm talking to three other people. I could still have him in a little tiny window in mine. I have a lot more screen to work with the new camera. Mm, yummy. Happy 420. It's always 420 here. Got a like a really old antique broken pocket watch. I keep it set on 420. Time one of my friends asked me what time it is, I pulled that out. Someone else, I pull my phone out to tell them. I I have watches, but I don't wear them. It's been years. I haven't worn a watch since I got a flip phone. Hell, I may have stopped watching, putting on a watch when I got my first hard Motorola phone. The Shark. It was before they even made flip phones. It was kind of a brick phone, but it was smaller. It was so tough. The Motorola Shark was so tough. I was doing about 45 in town here in my little town in one of the in the street. I should have been doing 25. It was that small of an area, but I was doing about 45, and that Motorola Shark fell off my belt. It bounced down the street, and all it had was just a couple of gouges in the screen where the fucking asphalt dug in a little bit. Other than that, it just had skipped along down the. That's fucking awesome. Hell yeah. Right on, Kiwi. That's awesome. The old grandfather clock in the hallway been set on 420 for years. Hell yes. The Birdman's here. What's up, little man? Good morning. Come here. Don't want to come up on me right now. He just wants to hang out, I guess, or he has something to tell me. I'm not sure. Do you want a kiss? Oh, yeah, you're a pretty bird, too. Thank you for calling me one, though. Please stop throwing seed shells out the front of your cage. There's paper underneath. You can drop them in there. Drop them straight down. Don't throw them out the front. Wow, that music seemed like it got really loud. These songs, all these royalty free songs, they all sound vaguely familiar to me. Like they're rip offs of something that are just enough different that they don't get no copyright. This, that sounds like goddamn, what you call them? That last was sounded like Slipknot. The other playlist I play of royalty free music, it has a band that actually has vocals, and they sound like they could be any number of bands I hear on the radio all the time. You know what, Kiwi Bear? I was thinking about building what looked like an old grandfather clock, but it'd just be a piece of art that's set to 420. Make it look like an old grandfather clock, but it's just a piece of art that I made, and it's all stuck on 420. Maybe even have a like some sort of spring mechanism or something in it, so that if someone else comes up and changes it, it goes back to 420. Right on, Kiwi. You have a good time, man. You don't have to come back and rewatch. I just hang out next time I'm on. Thanks for hanging out, man. Love you. I'm not really trying to grab views and watch time and stuff like that anyway. I just want to hang out and have a sesh. Right on. Hell yeah. You have a great day, Kiwi Bear. Big familiarity to a specific song somewhere to me, not just a band. Place my finger directly on it, but I need a mute button handy, not just up on the screen where I can click it. I don't know if Control M is a mute. I can mute the music, but I don't think it's muting my microphone. A weird ending. All of these songs have a weird familiarity to me. What you doing back there, little man? Cheers. Let me tone that music back. I gotta plug in my headphones, fellas. That way we don't get the feedback stuff going on.
Hey, how you doing,
Hello,
Bugsy?
Magical.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, it's cool. I'm glad to have conversation up.
Yeah. How you doing, Dave? Dave's not
You
home.
there, Dave?
So how's everything going, Bugsy? Good?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I hear you in the background there, Dave.
Hey,
He's
just
just
a
away
second.
from his microphone.
So what are we not allowed to talk about?
I don't know.
What? You can talk about whatever you want. I mean,
No, I'm just checking first, right?
You're not limited to stay away from cigarettes and alcohol or nothing
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
You can smoke on screen if you want, as far as I'm concerned.
My wife's home. We can't do that.
Yeah, Magical doesn't smoke inside.
Yeah, we stopped smoking inside several years before we stopped cigarettes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's the best way, I think, though.
yeah. I smoke marijuana in this room.
You're outside or inside?
No, I'm inside here.
Oh, okay.
This is my office. I'm in with my birds, and they have the window up there. They sit in it and they crap on the wall and shit. And I smoke marijuana. No cigarettes. I quit cigarettes in March 1st of 2011.
That's the best move you've ever made.
So I'm just past 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah. You probably feel
Well,
a
it's-
difference too, eh?
Well,
I
I
smoke
definitely.
tobacco. I smoke tobacco.
It's definitely
You
the
smoke, Dave?
difference.
Yeah.
See, I quit cigarettes. I quit all dope and all the drugs in 2006. I'm sort of in the same situation Hammy is with having quit everything else, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take a drink once in a while. I'll even have a few, but I don't drink every night by any means. Or
You're not a
I
drunk
don't-
no
This
more.
is really good for that.
right,
It's really good. It's really good for helping you give up other addictions.
yeah, and I quit even marijuana in 2006. I didn't start smoking marijuana again until it became legal here medically, and I'm disabled anyway because of my back.
Isn't it recreational where you are though, Muggsy?
It just became so. They voted it in November.
Oh.
This is my first legal home grow.
Oh, really? Okay, so it's special then.
Yeah, I was a guerrilla grower before. Yes.
I didn't even know that. I thought it was always legal where you were.
Nope.
Yeah, so did I.
No, I just sort of kept my mouth shut about where and what,
Yeah. You know, Hamilton sent me
Huh.
a bottle of maple syrup. I got 50
Oh, he
milliliter
was
bottle
being
of
a.
maple syrup.
You know what? He's being a dick to me by doing that, fucker.
Why? You wanted one?
Yes, I told him I wanted
so
one
nice.
from him.
Oh, I asked him for one like 6 months ago.
Did you?
Keep asking.
For a
He
bottle
said
of
it.
maple
There's
syrup.
probably one on its way to me. I'm calling him a dick and
probably.
shit.
Oh no, I never had maple syrup before. I have a little bottle of it now. What the fuck am I supposed to do with it though?
You're supposed
No,
to put it. Yes.
Okay.
Drizzle it
Or
over
ice
your
cream.
pancakes.
Or ice cream.
Ice cream.
Yeah, you
that
pour
might
it
be
over
good
top of your ice cream.
Brunch
How long?
toast.
How long does this shit keep for though? Once you open it, it's not
Forever.
open. But once
Forever.
I open it, what? Lasts forever.
Forever.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, there's
It's a nice
nothing.
bottle, too. I
There's
like the
nothing
bottle.
mixed in with it. It's all natural, right?
Yeah. Well, he could have farted in it or spat in it.
It's
Something.
an antibacterial.
That's
in
not
it.
including
Just,
that.
No, it wasn't in it before he got it. No, that's his own additions to it.
oh God.
Which I, oh yeah, I can smell ass on there.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
Smell a bit of bum.
It smells some bum. Why does this room smell like open butthole? That's what I was thinking all day.
Yeah, leave it to the Canadian
I
molasses.
sniffed the maple syrup. I was like, oh shit, it's not supposed to smell like that. I still smoke. Back to what you were talking about a minute ago before I interrupted. I smoke tobacco, but I don't smoke like cigarettes. And there, believe it or not, there is a difference between rolling tobacco and cigarettes. Cigarettes are like, you know, like by a big company. Like we have guys over here called John Pear.
Reynolds tobacco.
Yeah, we all have completely different brands, but it's like the same shit. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So cigarettes, like the tobacco in the cigarettes. Some people over here used to take a cigarette, break it up. You know, for smoking hash, put the tobacco in the skin, get some hash to put it on top of the cigarette tobacco, and then they put more tobacco on top of that and then roll it up and smoke it. And it's like the worst way to smoke hash, if you ask me.
I've done it many a times though.
Yeah, it's fucking gross tasting. Fucking ruins the taste of the hash itself. Like you get high as fuck, but
that's it.
You
Gets
only
it
taste
done.
the tobacco. Yeah, you can taste the tobacco though, and it's fucking disgusting. But rolling tobacco is different. It's lighter, doesn't have as many chemicals and shit. It's still bad for you. I'm not trying to promote rolling tobacco. It's still tobacco, but it's not as heavy as the shit that comes out of a cigarette.
Well, that frig will put you in the coffin before the cigarettes will. No, Dave?
Rolling tobacco.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
Where is it?
I think it's less processed tobacco.
Yeah, it's like the difference between homegrown weed and something you'd buy out of a dispensary.
Okay.
It's like the stuff you'd buy at a dispensary would be the cigarettes, and the homegrown, let's say, would be your rolling tobacco. Rolling tobacco is like more fluffy, light. It's not as thick. It's not as strong. It doesn't have as many chemicals in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's better for you then, you're saying?
No, not really. It's just better to. Not, what I'm trying to say is it's better to smoke. It tastes nicer when you put weed on top of it or something.
Okay.
It's not better for you. It's the same shit. Like it's tobacco. Same shit. There's just probably less nicotine in it. A little bit less.
Less additives. You know, there's all kind. If you look on a carton of cigarettes, you can see the list of ingredients on the carton. It's not on the pack, but if you look on the carton, it is. Like on one of the lists.
Arsenic in that stuff?
I don't know that the list is long.
I'm
It
pretty
may
sure
have
in
arsenic
cigarettes.
in the processing, but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like cancer is one of the fucking ingredients. I don't know.
I mean, the plant is poisonous before it's processed at all. You got to have some
Yeah.
processing, or
Oh, you
otherwise
do?
it's poisonous. It's a nightshade.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
true.
because I had some people that live up by the tobacco farms here in Ontario, and they went and out in the field and helped themselves and smoked some and blew their lungs out.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. You can't smoke unprocessed, completely unprocessed.
They know
It
that
has to
now.
go through it has to go through their drying and
Yeah.
it's kind
Yeah,
of
you
sun
gotta hang it.
bleaching.
You gotta hang it for a couple of years and that too, right?
It's well dry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
It's
cured.
It's like
drier than
weed.
any marijuana
It's
you
like
would
weed. It needs
ever
to be
dry.
cured.
That's true. It's cured.
But it's far dry,
Just
far
takes a
beyond
lot
what any
longer.
marijuana would ever be dry.
Yeah.
I'd like you to, you know how you go to, you may not know this, but you go to like a Mexican street market or a Filipino street market, even anything that has the Spanish influence in it, and there's those hanging red peppers hanging outside people's doors and shit. Those that's red chilies, like the red chili that you shake on pizza,
Right.
crushed red pepper. Those are the red peppers. That's how they keep them, is hanging outside their house like that. That's how they stay, is completely dried, hanging on the.
Why do they hang them on the outside of the house?
Because
I could probably answer that without knowing anything about the culture. People usually leave fruit and stuff outside their house. It's either to ward off spirits, to welcome spirits, or it's just like a greeting gesture. You know, kind of like how we hang during
Okay.
Christmas. We'll hang a holly on the outside of the door and stuff.
holly or
Usually
a
something like
wreath.
that. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, you got to think like, what was people worried about like 300 years ago? Because that's where all this shit comes from. It's usually ghosts and stuff, like werewolves. Or, oh, you hang a chili on them, keep the fucking zombies away or something. People used to really believe in that shit. Like, we're like a way more advanced than we used to be. Like 200 years ago, if we were all
Werewolves
200 years
were
ago,
real.
yeah, we were all sitting around a table. We might be all talking about like, let's go down to town and hunt a vampire or something weird.
Right.
'Cause we didn't have
Or
access
back
to
in the
information.
Pilgrim days, or calling
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah,
a witch,
exactly.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, they think their grain stores got contaminated with a psychedelic mold compound. That's what the scientists think happened at the Salem witch trials. Was the whole town went goofy on mushrooms.
Oh, really?
Yeah, their grain stores got contaminated with a psychedelic, like a psilocybin infested mold.
Okay, because I know grain, LSD can come from grain too, eh?
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
think that's just people making excuses for humans being fucking brutal sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe, but the scientists
can
really
be brutal.
say, but they can be without the drugs, but with the drugs, you might really believe people are witches. I guess back then, because you believed they existed.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like a
look, if I
rumor,
said to
isn't it?
Bugsy, if I said to Bugsy, you a witch, and he said no, and I said prove it, how you gonna prove you're not a witch?
Can't
Especially if
prove a
I'm
negative.
laying all the, especially if I'm putting all that like.
Yeah, but you could say
making
every
it-
time you come around me, trouble always comes on me and stuff like that, right? That can cause it.
Like
you
right
know?
now, Bugsy, you're making me feel anxious. I don't know why. I'm feeling anxious a little. Oh, I think you're doing a voodoo on me. No, I think honestly, right?
Get out my little string Dave Gorman doll.
You look into like I watch documentaries sometimes, like everyone does, but I like weird shit, right? I was watching this documentary about African tribes, and they're still into all the voodoo witch doctor shit.
Yeah.
But like it was scientists looking at it's not like it was scientists watching them, studying them. And what was really going on is there was a daughter in the village, and she was the daughter of the chief, and she didn't want to leave. Yeah. And the way it is over there is you can't have too many of the people with the same, like, blood blood in the same village because eventually there'd be a lot of
And
crossbreeding.
kings of different villages would trade their offsprings and shit.
Yeah. And really, it's to get them out of the village because you can't have them here inbreeding and all this. They're not stupid. They know about inbreeding. So they want her to go, and she won't go. So they make up an excuse, and the excuse usually is she's a fucking witch or something. If she won't leave, you're a fucking witch. Get out of here. So they'll drive her out of the village. They do that in Africa even to this day. Small little, like, you know, secluded villages where they're not like modernized like we are.
So that's where I went wrong with my first wife. I should have called her a witch. Or I did call her a witch. I should have called her more often then.
She just faked a heart attack and said she's doing voodoo to you. Got her fucking.
Yeah. Yeah, probably would. So how's the plants going, Dave?
They're good.
Are they?
I haven't been in the tent here there today. I'm going to water them later tonight. I usually water them around 10 or 11.
What, every 3 days or so?
No, every day.
You water them every day?
Yeah, they need the water too. They're fucking thirsty bastards.
Oh, then you must be only putting in like a cup or something then, eh?
No, man, I'm putting in, let's see, I got 8 plants, but a liter plant. Liter water a day.
Okay, so I'm putting a gallon in. So 3 liters more than what you... 4 liters to a gallon.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as I know, my plants are thirsty as fuck. But they're in like a cocoa type of mix. It's a peat cocoa soil mix. Perlite.
You made that yourself, didn't you?
No, I bought it online. BioBiz. It's really good soil.
BioBiz.
You guys can get it. You should try it if you can ever
but
get it.
But it's a soil. It's not a cocoa, right?
I'm not that experienced. I could give you what's in it and you could tell me what it is because I think it's a peat. I think it's a peat soil mix.
Okay.
I think it's a peat soil mix.
Yeah, that's what I get here in Canada.
I'll find the composition for you and I'll just post it here in the chat. You guys talk away for a minute.
Yeah, Bugsy, I guess you just use your native soil, do you? Or do you use bag soil?
I use some bag soil.
Yeah.
It's a cocoa potting soil mix. It's real fine ground cocoa shell. It's not.
So it's like a hybrid soil mix, or?
Yeah.
Does it give you the benefits of cocoa, or is it just basically
drains faster and dries faster? So
cocoa.
I can not as fast as cocoa.
So cocoa is considered a hybrid. Cocoa is considered a hybrid. So I guess that's considered somewhat of a hybrid itself then, eh?
Yeah, but leaning far more to the soil side when I am done amending it.
Okay. Right, there it is in chat. 20% sphagnum peat moss, 35% garden peat, 10% high quality organic BioBiz worm humus, and 30% perlite.
And where'd you say you buy this?
On Amazon, but I don't think it's available to you guys in Canada or America.
On Amazon, and how does this come to you? And what size?
50 liters, 50 liter bag, about $20. It's good soil.
50 liters would be 50 liters. That's a big bag, then, isn't it?
Yeah. I want to get big bags. Like that's what I've got a shitload of plants. Next time I won't have so many plants. I'm not fucking doing this again.
Well, you can reuse your soil in that too, eh?
Yeah, I can reclaim the soil, but I'd probably have to mix in more worm poo.
Well, that'd be up to yourself because you're adding nutrients, right?
Not using dry amendments. I'm using bottled synthetic.
Yeah, but that's good, right?
Yeah, but I heard if you use bottled synthetic, you cannot reuse your soil. That's what I heard.
Who told you that?
Hamilton.
If you use peat, you cannot use.
There's worm humus in it. I'd have to replace the worm humus because then the plant eat that up.
I don't understand why you have to replace it just because it's got nutrients. Nutrients will be passed on to the next generation of plants. That's the way I see it.
Well, I'm not as experienced as you guys. Like I'll get a hang of it. But this is how I learn right now, though. What you're telling me right now, I'm figuring out what you're saying. I can reuse the soil.
Well, I would if I were you, being in Ireland and finding it. I mean, I've done it a couple of times years ago. Yeah. But I'm saying if I lived in Ireland and found it hard to get a hold of supplies, I definitely would reuse it again. Sure. Make sure you
Well, it's
clean
not
all
really.
the, like clean all
There
the. Oh, what's this?
It's not really have a trouble getting supplies. It's having trouble finding them and locating a source to keep getting them. You know what I mean? Like, how long did it take you before you found a brand of soil you were happy with, and that's the brand you're going to stick with for a while?
About a year.
Yeah, so there I'm about a year, and I found.
I mean,
Firewood. That's the brand I'm gonna stick with.
I used to start off Miracle Grow bag soil.
Yeah.
Just because it's cheap around where I am, but the problem with it is it's kind of hot. So if I add anything to it, not knowing, like I did the first time, I burned a couple of plants up. So after that, I was on the hunt for something different, right? So I ended up going with what we call a hybrid soil. It's not a hybrid, so it's a peat. It's similar to what you have.
Yeah.
It's probably got the exact same ingredients as what you have, because I imagine that same stuff all over, right? Basically. Like
yeah, I reckon
peat, right?
There's some brand in over you guys get that's probably exactly like this stuff. They didn't create that themselves.
No. I mean, we just don't get peat from our backyard, right? We have that all brought in, or we have a source of it. I mean, I'm sure Ireland's got lots of peat, right?
No, I think there's Norwegian or Danish peat.
Okay,
really
well,
good.
they would have
Polish,
lots.
maybe. You know, they're on about. I was checking online. They're like, "This is the best peat in the world. It's the best." For some reason, I don't know why. They didn't explain why it's the best. They're just on about it is the best. So.
Well, as long as it's affordable.
Yeah.
And you're getting it delivered to your house.
Yep. That's one of my problems. I was at first, when I was getting soil, I'd have to go and get the soil and bring it back. Like, it was fucking breaking me back doing this shit every couple of days, having to find soil, then having to find nutrients, then having to find like perlite and all this shit. It took a while to figure out where to get it, how to get it, but now I have most of it down. It's not so hard for me to, if I need a bag of soil now, I know where to go. If I need grow light, I know where to go. I know the things I need. At first, when I started doing it as well, I didn't even know half the stuff I needed. I just told light, get a tent, and get a plant. That's what I started with. But now I've got like a light, a tent, an extractor, a humidifier, a heater. You get me? It's never ending.
Yeah, well, it'll never end. I mean, then you can go CO2, you know what I'm saying? Larger tent, bigger light, all over again. Exhaust fan, it just never ever stops. More nutrients, more plants you have. The bigger the plants, the more nutrients you're going to need, It's just never ending.
I'm thinking of switching nutrients. I'm thinking of going with dry amendments instead of using bottled nutrients.
Well, what kind of dry amendments?
I do not know. I don't have any experience in them at all. That's going to be like the next thing I have to learn.
Well, I would have thought your nutrient of choice would have been Miracle Grow, being that's in abundant pretty well everywhere, I would think, right?
Well, yeah, but like Budsville uses Miracle Grow and gets on sound with it. But like literally everyone says don't use it because
don't use it.
It puts chemicals in your weed. Now,
well, you have to flush though. That's when you flush it. You do a 2-week flush.
Budsville probably has experience with knowing when to do all that stuff. I'll have to relearn all. I'll probably get a grower too that's going to be contaminated with the shit. I don't want to even go through it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to flush though.
Yeah, do a 2-week flush and you should be fine with that.
I think my first grow, I didn't do the flush correctly. What I'm planning on doing this time is I'm going to take each plant down to my shower one at a time. Right. And just leave them in the shower for like 15 minutes with the water just running through them. Make sure the plant is like literally flooded with water.
Oh, it'll be flooded, all right.
Yeah. Because last time when I flushed them, I was told, "Oh yeah, just use regular water, just to give them water like you would normally." And I was like, "Okay." So I just fed them bare water. No, but that's not enough. You need to like literally.
Well, you gotta flood and drain sort of type thing.
Yeah, but that's not what I was doing. I was just feeding them water like I would regularly. I didn't know. I thought that was what a flush was. Wasn't. It's not. That's not what a flush is. Takes a while to figure all this shit out and get it all together in your head. But I'm getting there.
Yeah, man, it all takes time. I mean, like you say, you're probably maybe the only one around in your area that even is doing this, right?
Yeah, but
are you the only one that smokes in your area, or are there others?
Oh no! Ireland is one of the biggest consumers of cannabis in all of Europe.
Is that right?
Which is astounding to me why the government is so fucking hard on it. They're probably locking like a quarter of the population, or fining a quarter of the population like regularly. That's why they're so That's why they're so like not wanting to make it legal, because the amount of money they make off of keeping it illegal, crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, they could probably make more money on sales tax than that if they were to sell it. No.
No.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't be giving people
honestly don't think
penalties
so.
of thousands of dollars and stuff like that, right? I mean, I could see how they'd be losing revenue.
No, you see, if I went into court right now, I'd be like, it's all mine, personal use, 100%, blah, blah, blah. I'd probably get a fine of some kind, or maybe they'd probably be stiff with me and say, like, if you do it and again, we catch you with weed one more time, you're going to jail. Yeah, because I got like 8 plants.
Okay.
But what to do with teenagers, this is how they make their money. They catch a teenager who's just new working or whatever, and they give him a stiff fine, like 500 euros. Bang. And that happens probably about every day the court's open. Probably get about 10 or 15 people in there just for like less than a gram. They got caught with less than a gram. Probably the person didn't even know they had the gram on them.
And the police will bust them for less than a gram?
Yeah, and they'll be like, bring it. It'll give you summons. You know what a summons is?
Yeah. Appear to court, yes.
Yeah, so no, you guys have different names for stuff, so I always check. They give you summons, and then you'll go to court, and the judge will be like, act like you did some fucking terrible crime, like you were the first person to sell crack cocaine in Ireland or something over a gram of weed. They'll act like you're a fucking major drug dealer, and then they'll give you a stiff fine and act like if you do it again, you're going to jail, you get 2 years in court. But when you go back in, they don't give you 2 years or 2 years in court, 2 years in jail. But when you go back in, they won't give you 2 years in jail, they give you another stiff fine.
They just think of all the money they could make and save of just moving on to something else,
Yeah, well,
like illegal of cocaine or crack cocaine and
what are you considering a stiff fine?
Like 500 quid, 1,000 quid for a gram.
1,000 pound.
Yeah,
or 1,200 American.
Yeah. See, that's about as normal that it was here in Arizona back when it was illegal.
Yeah.
It was about like that, but on my third offense, it wasn't even for possession of marijuana. The third offense thing wasn't. I got caught with paraphernalia twice, which is a felony. Was a felony, I mean. And then I got caught with a pound of marijuana, which is a felony as well, but it's a different felony. And then I got caught for a third strike on paraphernalia.
Okay.
And when I got that third strike, they didn't even threaten me with prison, but I got a fine. It was $30,000.
Wow. I thought 3 strikes and you're out. You do like 20 years or so, no?
Well, they can do what they want, man.
Oh, can they? I didn't know. I thought it was.
I guess.
I thought it was one.
I know.
I thought it was either you got nothing or you got 20 years for doing 3 strikes and you're out.
No, that's like for specific crimes that are considered like violent crimes and shit like that.
Okay.
There's a woman
because we were hearing
close to me. Sorry, Magical.
No, that's okay. No, I'm just saying
There's a woman over here in a town close to me. She got caught with 7 grams of hash. The guards asked her, "Where are you going with the hash? What's it for?" They knew what they were doing because she was like inexperienced. "Where are you going? What's it for?" "I'm going home. It's for me and my husband." Bang, dealing. "You're a dealer." She went, "What do you mean I'm a dealer?" Went, "You're going to share that with someone?" She went, "Yeah, you're a dealer." And they brought her to court and tried to do it with drug dealing.
That's fucking retarded.
Yeah, I know. To her husband. She was getting done for drug dealing to her husband for 7 grams of hash.
Wow.
Which is hash here is shit. You wouldn't even consider it hash. You consider it garbage.
And technically that'll destroy her because she'll never be able to travel now, will she?
Yeah, that's what they do over here. They don't want you to travel. What the Irish government really wants is they want everyone to have an alcohol problem and tobacco. Like smoke and drink all you want. Yes, they're taxed. That's the way we like to get our tax. No, you
Yeah,
can't
because
do
it's
weed.
socially acceptable, right, to be drinking and smoking, right?
See, one of the reasons the Irish government is like that as well is because they know that when they legalize it or start talking about legalizing it, people are going to start growing it, and they can't control you when you grow it. They can control you with alcohol and tobacco because most people don't. Like, you can make your own alcohol, but most people don't. They like to drink it. They don't have
Right.
6 months to grow it or to manufacture a bottle of whiskey. Or how long does it take to make whiskey? Like 20 years?
No idea.
No, you can distill
I've seen
hard
whiskey for
liquor in
12
no
years.
time.
In
No,
Canada,
I mean,
whiskey
stuff.
is good. Whiskey's 12-year, 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can distill drinkable liquor in no time. That's
Yeah,
what
but that's-
moonshine is and shit.
Yeah. That's what I mean, though. If you want to get good shit, you have to distill it for a long time. So that means a person would have to wait 15 years to make their own good whiskey. So they're not really worried about people making their own whiskey, yeah? But, like, you can make a big-ass bunch of weed in about 6 months.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you're smoking weed, you're not going to be really drinking or smoking tobacco too much.
Well, I find a nice joint with a
Something
nice
interesting in
pint.
it.
A joint and a pint go well together, Dave.
What do you drink?
Well, I drink. It depends. I drink imports, right? So my imports are like Heineken.
Mm.
I like a bit of Guinness once in a while.
Yeah, Guinness is good.
Especially when I go to the pubs, I'll drink Guinness. And I find when I'm having drinking Guinness, a nice joint just brings you just to a nice level, eh?
Yep, it does.
It does.
Guinness is a good replacement for food. You can have
Certainly
a pint of
is.
Guinness and you won't be hungry.
That certainly is, right? Yeah. But I don't think it's the same Guinness. What we get here is what you get back home, though.
Well, anything that comes out of a can is usually garbage.
Well, it comes out of a can, yeah.
Yeah, is there a little round plastic ball in there knocking around?
An insert. They call it an insert?
Yeah, is there one in there?
Yeah, it's an insert, yeah.
Okay, that stuff is okay.
Oh,
but
it
when
is?
you get a can and there's no, it's okay. It's okay. It's not
All
good.
right. All right.
But when you get a can and there's no insert in there, it's garbage.
I
Bottles
see, okay.
are usually better. People over here, if they're going to drink Guinness out of a can or bottle, they'll usually get a bottle.
Huh.
I prefer my beer out of a bottle.
No, this is stout.
Yeah.
No, they don't drink it out of the bottle, though. You always put the stout in the glass. You don't drink it out of the bottle.
See, in
Never.
Canada, people drink out of cans mostly because it's considered better because they don't break.
It's recyclable.
And they're recyclable.
That's
better for the environment, eh?
That's why they have the little plastic thing in the can. It's so you can drink it from the can. But like in a
Right.
bottle, there's no little plastic thing. That's why I'm saying you don't drink it out of a bottle. You pour the bottle into a glass, then you drink it.
And watch the head form.
Yeah, it's kind of like wine or something. You know, it needs to breathe for a minute.
Yeah. Now you're starting to talk like my father. He always used to let his beer breathe and stuff like that.
Yeah, you do. You need to let it breathe for a minute. Like if you go to a pub over here and order a pint of Guinness, do you know what? Did you ever see someone pour a pint of Guinness? It's not like a beer.
Yeah, I see. I've seen it. Yeah, whether it's the right way or wrong way, I don't know.
Okay, well, you'll order a pint of Guinness and you won't get it for 5 minutes, and that's because they pour half of it and then they let it breathe for 5 minutes. Not 5 minutes, like 2-3 minutes. They'll leave the glass there half full for a minute under the tap, and then they'll come back and they'll finish the rest of it. That's to let a bit of air get into it.
Yeah. Sometimes I see them. They put a spoon and it pours onto the spoon first.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just because it's a complicated drink.
Aerates
it pours.
Pouring it over the spoon aerates it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the trick is not to get a big head on it, right?
No, you want a head, but you don't want a huge head.
No, you don't want a big head on it, right?
You want
the head to go down for that 5 minutes.
You want
that
about
it
a good
sits
half
there.
inch to 3/4 of an inch head on top of that.
Yeah, you're right. You want a nice head. You don't want a Guinness with no head. Someone handed me a glass of Guinness that was entirely black and there's no white head on top. I'd be like, what the fuck is that?
It's flat.
Yeah, it's flat. Get that the fuck away from me.
So what does a pint of Guinness cost over there back home?
if you're in a pub, drinking in a pub, usually about €5 for a good pint.
And if you're buying one out of the liquor store?
Off license, we call them off license. I can't remember last time you even bought, like, you won't buy one, you'll buy like 8 or 10.
Yeah, of course you're not going for one.
Yeah, it costs you about $20.
$20? Yeah, they're about they're about $2.50, $2.60 a can here.
The same here, but our money's worth a little bit more, so it's about €2.50, €3 a can here, but like to you, that's like €4 a can, $4 a can, sorry. Something like that. But it's like, it's worth the money because you kind of get used to it. No one likes their first glass of Guinness. No one likes it. You sip it, you taste it, and you're like,
oh, it's an acquired taste.
Like shit. Yeah, but then people have convinced you to finish the glass of it. Like, you paid for it, so you might as well finish it. And then you're like, right, that wasn't bad. By the time you get to the end of it, you're like, that wasn't too bad actually.
Yeah. And I personally, I get bothered by this a lot. I like drinking my beer at room temperature, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people look at me kind of weird because I drink my beer at room temperature, They'll be putting theirs in the freezer. They'll be putting theirs in the freezer, getting it cold, and I'll just grab mine out of the case and just drink it out of the case, right?
Yeah. A lot of people do that. But that's mainly an English thing. People never believe me when I say this. Yeah, they like their beer room temperature, sometimes warm.
Yeah, cellar temperature, right?
Yeah, and a lot of English people as well will take like a teaspoon of sugar and throw it into their beer. Usually something bitter tasting, not Guinness. They don't do it to Guinness or stout.
No,
they'll do it to something like Tennent's. Do you know what Tennent's is?
Yeah, I know what Tennent's is.
Yeah, they'll put a spoon of sugar in Tennent's. That's like, ugh. I don't even like Tennent's, but I wouldn't even.
I've drank it all. I've had it all.
Yeah, I don't like that stuff. It tastes like chemicals.
My cousin's coming over, and she's into that Mangers. Is it Mangers? Mangers apple cider. There, that's what she's into.
Oh,
right?
Magners.
That's what it is. Yeah, she likes that.
No, that's actually the American name for it, or the Canadian name for it, Magners. We call it Bulmers. That's what's written on the can. BULLMERS. Bulmers.
Never heard
it's
of
called
that
Magners in America. Yeah, I know. No, it's the exact same shit. It's just to change the brand name for America. Yeah.
Okay.
Canada.
For marketing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why.
It's like Nissan calling themselves Datsun because they thought World War II tainted Japanese names and they thought Datsun was more American sounding.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Never knew that. Huh.
You know how you guys have Jif? You know what Jif over there is? Peanut butter, yeah?
Oh, Jiffy.
Yeah. We have Jif as well. But it's actually like stuff for scrubbing your toilet.
What?
Yeah. We have Jif, but it's not peanut butter. It's stuff for cleaning. You know, your toilet's all fucking dirty. Yeah, you put Jif down your toilet.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, we use this stuff called Vim. VIM.
Yeah.
And that will clean toilets as well, yeah. Similar. Yeah.
There's a lot of popular brands over here that are the same as over there. Just to change the name. That's it.
Liquid Plumber.
Yeah.
Liquid Plumber.
Don't leave home without it.
Not that
Drano.
Green jelly stuff. Yeah, it's like you pour it down. It's like green jelly. You pour it down the drain. It's just like.
It's heavy, so it sinks.
With each row pipes. With each row pipes. Yeah.
You would think it would. But I guess it doesn't now in the modern PVC kind of pipes.
Mm. You know, we do here every couple of months, you'll like boil your kettle and just dump the whole. You don't have kettles as well. That's another thing.
Yeah, we have kettles. We have kettles.
You do? Okay, I don't think have a fucking kettle. Every time I say you have a kettle to an American, they're like, "What's that?" Like electric kettle for boiling water. And they're like, "We have a coffee pot."
No, a coffee pot.
We do. My kettle sits on top of the stove.
Yeah, kettle's for boiling your water.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll take a full kettle of water and I'll just dunk it down the fucking drain.
Yeah, like it melts any food fats that are clinging around.
Well, don't you usually empty your fat into the toilet, though?
I
Me?
throw our
No,
fat out in the ground.
yeah, if I
Well,
got
you
it.
must be getting lots of night critters coming around then.
Well, we have lots of critters, period.
Yeah, that kind of freaks me
Yeah.
out. That's the one thing I like about Ireland. It's all critter free.
Like how? What do you mean? What critters?
Well, you
There's
don't
loads of
have
critters
you
there.
don't have snakes.
No.
That's the main one.
All right. Yeah, we don't
No,
have that shit.
I'm not
We don't
fond of
have
snakes.
mooses and stuff.
Yeah, moose.
No, we don't have those.
No,
I'd love
you,
to see a moose though.
you have deer.
We have coyotes.
Yeah, we have deer. Yeah.
You have
No
deer.
coyotes.
Native
deer.
native to Ireland. Deer, right?
Yep.
They're still wild, or are they all captive now?
No, they're all wild. They're wild. Like Ireland, they're like
So does
Imagine a
Ireland
place
have
with-
game farms on it or no?
no. We don't have. I don't think we have game farms. No. What's that? Like a fucking a
A
small
farm like a sanctuary for animals.
fenced off forest where you go in and hunt
A
stuff.
sanctuary. Well, a sanctuary for animals.
No, we like the whole
No, it's
country.
a reserve. It's not for hunting.
Oh. No, we don't need that stuff. Like the animals here are pretty wild. There's a lot of animals like swans and shit, but there's no poisonous anything, or I don't think there's any predators. You know, there's no.
No,
wolves
humans
or
have been there for so long that they've hunted them predators to extinction.
Yeah, we killed them fuckers.
Hmm. What do you know?
It's a good place, you know, if you like camping and stuff. Up the woods, you can go camping. People leave you alone. You can have a.
So
Yeah.
you can get away from people if you want to get away from people. Then.
Yeah, exactly. It's usually like.
Oh,
not
so
a
it's
lot
a
of
big
people.
enough island to do that then.
Yeah, like Ireland's like 1,000
How long-
miles long or something.
How long would it take you to drive from one end to the south to north?
About 18 hours,
18?
something like that. Yeah.
Wow, that is a fair distance, then, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a fair difference. But I know if you could drive directly from one end of the country to the other end, it'd
Right.
probably be like if there was one big long straight road that was like a super fucking freeway and you're able to just drive 80 miles an hour the whole way, you'd probably be there way quicker. But the fact
Right.
that our roads are all like, you know, crooked and fucking
Right.
go here, then over there, then over there, then you got to cross a border.
You don't have highways?
No, not really. We
No.
have what we call a dual carriageways, and that's like 2 lanes each side. You know, 2 lanes going
Yeah.
left, 2 lanes going right.
Right.
And we have those, and I think there's
Okay.
1 or 2 that go straight the whole way down through the country. But there's loads of stops, and there's parts where the carriageway ends, and you go onto a little small arse road, and then you go onto another carriageway. You know what I mean?
Okay, I see. Yeah.
So,
So
probably
if
get lost easily.
you go from north to south, is there much difference in the laws as well, or no?
Yeah, complete
Oh,
difference.
There is, from north to south.
Yeah, it's like it's like the difference between traveling between America and Canada.
Okay, so which laws are more harsher?
South Ireland, well, it's nothing to do with harshness, it's just to do with difference. The south of Ireland is all Ireland, right? That's Ireland. It's Irish for Irish people, it's Ireland. And then when you go up the north of the country, just like the bottom part or the top part of the north is just considered England. Like
Okay,
there's 32 counties in Ireland, but 6 counties up the north are considered English.
okay. Huh.
Yeah.
And there's
There's a
still
bunch of shit
peace
that happened in
amongst
1980.
there's still peace amongst everybody, is there, or is there still
No, not really.
ongoing trouble?
Yeah, the trouble is never going to end. It's not going to end. Like they have to give the north of Ireland back. They have to release their claim to it and fuck off their own country. Then there'll be peace.
Yeah. Well,
But when, like, you know, there's like because
they kind of got their hooks in there now, don't they?
Yeah, they do. But like most Irish people are of the mind that, you know, if I went up and grabbed someone and said, sign this contract that says you're my slave or some stupid shit
Right.
like that. Like most
Right.
people would say that person signed that contract under duress. You can't
Right.
you can't force someone to sign a contract by saying you're going to do something terrible to them and then expect that contract to hold up in law, right?
Okay.
So 100 or so years ago, that's what was going on. England was coming over to Ireland, kicking the shit out of us, killing anyone who said anything counter to what they wanted.
Right.
They'd even do shit like try and force you to speak English. Like if someone didn't speak English, they'd beat them up or kill them. And that happened a lot. Way more than people realize.
Huh.
And then like Ireland, basically, we started fighting back, doing the whole IRA thing.
Well, I know my cousin was over there. He was stationed for that.
Yeah, so that's when we actually signed like a contract, a peace accord with England saying, right, you can have the 6 counties, but you fuck off up there and leave us alone. And they agreed to that. And that's why we don't hold respect for that, because we didn't want to give them the 6 counties. It was more like we had to get rid of them, to stop them invading the rest of the country and killing people for no reason.
Huh, I didn't realize there was lives that were being lost.
Yeah, why do you think Ireland speaks English? It's because they were coming over, forcing it on us. And like, you know, eventually, like there was so many people speaking English because it was the law. It was the law. You cannot.
Oh, it was like first language, English?
Yeah. Like, imagine England come over to you guys and started going, right, okay, and all that Canadian shit you're doing, yeah, you're not doing that anymore. Stop drinking coffee, start drinking tea. And you're like, I don't want to drink tea, I want to drink coffee. And they're like, yeah, well, if you drink coffee, I'll kill you.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too long before you're telling them to go fuck themselves and start your own IRA. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's different up here, though. I mean, they're welcomed into the institutions. In all of our schools, there's pictures that they had and that of the Queen and the monarchy and that, right? All the schools, all the police departments, you know, everywhere. Federal buildings, provincial buildings, all have the Queen as the head, right? So
ain't no Queen here.
Well, no, I mean you got rid of that hundreds of
years
ago,
Reagan
right?
in post offices.
The difference is, right, they left Canada of their own volition. They wanted to like pull out or whatever. That's the way.
Well, they never wanted to really invade Canada, right?
Yeah. But like America was like invaded by them and heavily taxed and all this shit, so they have a reason to be pissed off.
Well, because they weren't paying their taxes.
Yeah, you pay your fucking taxes, Bugsy.
Fucking, you pay for that now, though, don't you?
Ireland was basically, we were like, I just explained a minute ago. We were having a war waged against us, but we were told you're not allowed to have an army. Like, that's another thing. That's why the IRA even existed at all. That's why people said IRA are terrorists. Because England come over and made a law saying Ireland cannot have their own army. You can't have an army. If you try and have an army, we'll kill your civilians.
Really?
Yeah, that's why the IRA was even invented. That's why they ran around with masks on and all this shit, because we weren't allowed to have it. Ireland as a country wasn't allowed to have an army because England didn't want us having an army because they didn't want us.
Okay, that's why you had the Irish Republic Army.
Yeah, that's where all this stuff comes from. You should look into it, Magical, if you're interested. There's some good films. There's a film called The Wind Shakes the Barley, and it's not a particularly great film, but it kind of explains some of the whole Irish English thing. And
is there anything on eBay easily accessible?
On eBay?
And on not eBay, sorry, on
Netflix,
on Pirate Bay.
Pirate Bay. Oh.
Yeah, you never go on there?
Yeah, well, I used to. I don't use it anymore.
Oh.
The Wind Shakes the Barley is a.
The Wind Shakes the Barley. Okay, I'll have a look now and see.
Yeah, it's
The Wind Shakes
pretty
the Barley.
popular, well-known film about the IRA, how it was founded, and all that shit.
Wind. The wind what?
The wind
shakes the barley.
Shakes the barley. The wind
shakes the barley.
Yeah. Just look it up on YouTube first, and if it looks good, then download it. Or you know what, Magical, if you use a Pirate Bay, you'd probably want to use F Movies too. Do you want
to see it's right here? It's a 2006 movie.
Yeah. The
I'll
guy who
download
played
it right now.
So fucking thing in it is in there. Okay.
I'll download it right now. And this will explain.
No, it's a good movie. It'll explain like why the IRA was founded, why the IRA happened in the first place.
Pardon me? You were cutting out there.
It'll explain. The movie tries to explain the founding of the IRA, how it happened, why the IRA happened in the first place. The IRA stands for Irish Republican Army.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why it's called the Irish Republican Army, because they wouldn't let us have an army.
Son of a guns, eh?
Yep. So that's the same thing. England tried to do the same thing to America when they said, pay all these taxes, you can't have an army either. And they had to become rebels. That's where all that shit came from. You had to found your own army with, what's his name? George Washington. Bugsy. You must know more about this than me.
Yeah.
He had to found his own army, and a bunch of rebels got together and all kicked the English out of the country because.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
At first, it was just a bunch of guys in. At first, it was just a bunch of guys in masks. Yep. They dressed up as Native Americans and raided English tea ships.
Yep.
And dumped them in the harbors, and that's it's celebrated as a single date, but it wasn't. It was just an ongoing thing that they had to start out that way. They were considered terrorists by King George, and they ran around dressed up as natives and
you should never come between an Englishman and his tea, eh?
Well, they wasn't coming between the Englishman and their tea. They came between the tea they sent over to be sold and drank here and stuff like that. And the taxes and revenue that would bring on that, because it was an English privateer, but it was one of the, like the East India Trading Company in Pirates of the Caribbean, you know what I'm talking about?
Right, yeah.
It was one of those big sanctioned companies. And the one that's famous, for the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one was one of those, like the East India Trading Company type companies. And England had guards on it because it was worth a lot of tax money to them.
Mm-hmm.
But the guys got on dressed as natives, snuck on. I'm sure they took as much as they could carry. I'm sure they took as much tea as they could carry when they left, I'm sure it wasn't just throw it all in the harbor.
Wasn't it the tea had a really low tax on it, though, and they put a really high tax on things the Americans liked? Like, mostly it was the English people in America that was drinking tea, so the tax on that was low as fuck. But things like beer was taxed really high.
Well, yeah, it was taxes on everything, going back to England. But it was just the fact that the tea was coming here. But it was mostly their soldiers and shit that drank the tea.
Yeah. That's why the Tea Party thing was, that's why they attacked the tea.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh. What do you know?
Yeah. Like, I said this before. Most Irish people don't blame English people for all this bullshit that happened in the past. But a lot of English people in England will be the ones to turn around and go, yeah, fuck the Irish, they deserved it and shit like that. So that brings out a lot of hostility in Irish people.
How can the Irish deserve it, though? How can anybody deserve it?
What? Yeah, I know. But like, they're steadfast in their belief that the Queen was right. The royal family is everything. Everyone should be, bowing down to them and all this shit. I had an English guy.
How much of that do you believe, though? What 0%. Stereotyping? I mean, not everybody's that way. Not everybody's that way. Eh? You know what I mean?
Yeah, not everyone.
A lot of the youngins now couldn't care less.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? But you're gonna have people in their 70s and their 80s. You know what I mean? That that would have probably stood more behind that than what anybody would right now in these times.
Well,
I don't know if that would even. I don't even know if that would be tolerated now through the world.
In England, it is actually. It is pretty tolerated inside England, but not outside England. Like, people like yourself, like you're English, but you're raised in Canada. You clearly have completely different beliefs. You're a sensible person. But people inside England, like, England's kind of like America or Texas or something in the way that they're all about themselves. They want.
Well, I go over there enough, so I know what you're saying.
Filter into England, huh? Yeah.
I've gone over there enough, so I know what where you're coming from and where you're not. But
like a common word over there, right? A common saying is, and they don't think this is racist either, but it is really racist, is when they want to go to a restaurant, yeah, they will call it the chinkies. Now, a chink is a racist word for a Chinese person.
Chinese person, yeah.
Yeah, so they'll call it, let's go to the chinkies, and they don't think that's racist.
That goes on over here too, Dave.
Yeah, I know.
It goes on over everywhere,
though.
But it is racist.
Well, what do you say when you want to go for Chinese? Do you never hear anybody say, let's go for some chinky?
No, not in Ireland. I've never heard that term until I heard it from English people.
Oh,
in
really?
Ireland, we just say, let's get a takeaway. Who wants to get a takeaway? Or if you get a pizza, who wants to get a pizza? Like, we say the thing we want. You want to get a cheeseburger? I'll get a cheeseburger. Let's go get cheeseburgers.
That's pretty much the way we do it, too. Or like if it's a big Chinese buffet, I will say out the words, Chinese buffet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
again, like, nothing is everything. I don't think all English people are like that. But it's like a political ideal. You know, people in England that are usually like, what's the Tories? You know what a Tory is?
A Tory. Never heard of it.
A Tory. T-O.
Oh, a Tory. You're talking somebody in government.
Yeah, but people who support that side of the government as well.
leaning.
A political leaning. Those people generally hate Irish people, like, with a passion. At least in my experiences. Like, I've never talked to a Tory who treated me with respect or didn't want to attack me in some way for being Irish. I was talking to a guy a couple of nights ago over in Jezzy's. Bugsy, were you there? Bugsy was there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had just come in.
Guy just went fucking off on me just because he heard my accent. He knew it was Irish straight away, so he was just like talking to Jezzy. And anytime I'd open my mouth, he'd be like, "Shut up, you tinker! Oh, I'll fucking fight you," and all this shit because he's drunk.
And who was he? British?
Yeah, he's a Scouser. He's from Liverpool.
Liverpool, okay. That's not far from where I was born.
And Liverpool has a really high Irish population. So, like, his bullshit towards the locals was coming out towards me.
Yeah. Huh. No, maybe it's because we've got a couple of Irish people in our family and that we don't really talk poorly. You know what I mean? They're all loved. We all love them, and everybody's treated the same.
Yeah, Irish people and English people are all the same. Like, you treat me with respect, I treat you with respect.
Right.
But like, a lot of those people on that political leaning don't want to treat other races and other cultures with respect, they think.
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, you got to get your marijuana laws sorted out, Dave.
Yeah.
You really do have to get them sorted out, and that will open you up to other things out in the world, eh? Because all of your marijuana is either going to have to be grown in Ireland or brought in, right? And probably it's going to have to be brought in the beginning.
Sure, there's a little island it's directly smack dab between Ireland and England, and it's called the Isle of Man. Did you ever hear
the Isle of Man. Yeah. There's a train.
I watched the motorcycle race.
It was the first train in civilization to go around the country.
Yeah. They want weed to be legal on the Isle of Man, but not legal in England or Ireland. So the governments,
Who said this?
Governments then can control all the growing of it and all this shit, and they can sell it to who they want, but you can't legally grow it or have it yourself.
Oh, that's fucked up.
What?
Yeah, no, we won't stand for that shit.
Run that by me again, Dave, fast, if you don't mind.
The Isle of Man has weird laws on it.
You're right.
It's usually considered, like, the Isle of Man is kind of like, over here it's considered like a loophole area, you know, kind of like out in the middle of the ocean where there's no laws.
Right.
So they want to do all the weed growing on the Isle of Man so they can have it legal on the Isle of Man to grow.
I see.
But then they can take all the weed and sell it to America or Canada and basically keep it illegal here so they can keep taxing us with fines and all types of bullshit and keep us on alcohol and tobacco. So the government wants to grow it. They just don't want us to have it. They want to be able to sell it to other people where it's more profitable for them.
Son of a guns, eh?
Yeah, I know. It's bullshit, man.
That's like, don't you have any? You said you had a party in government, an election time was going for legalization of marijuana. Did you not? And then once they got in, they changed their mind?
No, that's not what happened. They were a crowd in the government here called Finian Fall were going into government, and they like said a bunch of shit they were going to do, and then they didn't follow through on literally any of it. And what they actually did was, when they got into government, then they partnered up with their rivals in the government that said, we're going to have a shared government.
Right.
Where like half of it's going to be one crowd and half is going to be the other crowd, which is fucking retarded. I don't get that shit at all.
Right.
One voted for the other crowd and they still get into government. They still hold power. How the fuck is that? Like, it's like if everyone votes for the Republicans in America and then somehow the Democrats get the president to be their guy anyway.
Yeah, I hear it.
How does that work?
Huh.
But there's a guy over here called Gino something, and he wants to put forward in a couple of months. They're having a referendum on stuff, and he wants to put forward the legalization of cannabis. Good. The decriminalization or the legalization, I can't remember which. Good. But whatever it is, it's good that someone's putting it forward.
Yeah, that's good. And that's coming up where in the next few months, you said?
Yeah. Like, there is a big part of the population of Ireland that is fed up with this shit and want cannabis legal. Like, I know lots of people your age, Magical, and, you know, Bugsy, like over 50. People over 50 here generally used to be like 100% against all forms of drugs, but they'd all be smoking and drinking like crazy.
Right.
Yeah?
Right. Yeah, I hear it.
Someone must have came along to those people and explained to them that smoking and drinking are both like forms of drugs. Like, it's the same thing. Like, if you...
it all goes to what they hear. Yeah, if that's what they're hearing.
That's as bad as being a junkie or whatever. If you're an alcoholic, that's as bad as being a junkie. So, like, now it's all changing. Like, I know lots of people over 50 who used to be 100% against it, but now they're actually like going, it's not even that bad.
Well, that's what you need.
Like, so... Yeah, so when people over 50 are starting to change, that means the whole fucking country needs to fucking change, man.
Well, I mean, it's only just a matter of time before the kids, they grow up themselves and start taking control over their direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't want to wait around for that, for crying out loud. You know, you don't want to be waiting until you're 60 before you find out you can friggin' legally smoke a marijuana joint, you know? Like, I'm sure you want this over with fast, don't you?
Yeah, it has changed a lot in the last 10 or so years, because when I started smoking weed when I was 18, or cannabis, I used to smoke hash, but now a couple of years after I started smoking hash, we started getting access to weed.
Right.
In that portion of time, in the last about 15 years, it went from everyone being very secretive about it to now you see people like, you know, kind of walking over the town every now and again smoking a joint.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'll be walking down town, you'll smell weed, or you'll see someone in a corner smoking a joint. Like, you never used to see that either. That would never
but that will be the young people doing that, right?
Yeah. So what you're saying is true. Like, eventually it will be legal eventually.
Oh, yeah.
How long that's going to take, I don't know.
I never thought I'd see it in my lifetime, Dave. I never thought I'd see it, man. And I was shocked when I heard that it came legal.
Were you growing before it was legal?
Well, I grew back when I was like 20. So, yeah, I grew way before it was legal. You know what I'm saying? But that was back in the day when I was doing it. That was back in the day you really didn't have nutrients, right? You had your Miracle Grow, that was it. But you didn't have nutrients. You didn't have CalMag or nothing like that, right? You didn't have
access to information to know you need.
We used to use street lights. We used to take the street poles, take the lights off of them, and they would go 220 or 110 and hook 110 to them and have a street light for a flowering light.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
People here used to do that. They'd go out and pull the light bulb out, but they wouldn't grow with it. They'd go out and pull the light bulb out and throw the light bulb in a bin or whatever. And then they'd hook their house electricity up to the fucking light.
So they get free hydro.
Yeah, free electricity, exactly.
Oh, that takes a lot of balls, I'll tell you.
Yeah, fucking does. But people would do it anyway. That's what I mean. Like, we were talking about the water tax in Ireland before. Ireland, we're a bunch of like rebels or whatever.
Right.
We come from rebellious people. So when the government tries to lay down a law like saying you have to pay the TV license, like 90% of the country will be like, no, not paying it. And they'll stick to it. Like, the guards will call out and they'll be like, not paying it. Send me to jail, not paying it. Like, when 90% of the population won't do it. Yeah, when 90% of the population won't do it, there's no way they can enforce it. What are they going to do? Lock up 90% of the country?
Yeah, the only people that are going to force it will be the rule makers anyway.
Yeah. Generally over here, the only people that pay TV licenses like over 60 people that are over 60, and they get it for free. That's why they pay it, because they don't even pay to get it for free.
Huh. Yeah, my cousins, they don't pay for it. I only have the one that does pay for it. But I mean, he's just that because he's a Bobby, right?
Oh, he's a cop.
Yeah. So the other one,
same, yeah.
So he pays, but the other ones don't. It's the same as
what happens. You know what happens if you don't pay your TV license?
I'm not sure.
What's a TV license?
When you own a TV set. Yeah, permit for a TV.
To own a TV.
No, to broadcast. To receive
just
signals.
one.
Oh, I thought you had to have it to receive signals.
Well, like any TV receives signals. That's what
right, but you can have a TV and it not being receiving anything and not have to pay.
No. You have any form of a TV. If you have a TV and the TV like is a regular TV, it's
dish commissioned. And if it's dish commissioned.
No. If you have a TV set in your house, broken, fixed, anything, doesn't matter. They want a license.
Oh, fuck that. That's no way.
I never knew that.
Now, the loophole is a computer. If you have a computer monitor, you don't have to pay a TV license. That can't receive RF signals. But even if you have a TV and you'd go in and interfere to TV and take out the components that receive the RF signals, they'll still maintain. You could put those back in, so you have to pay for a TV license.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, but
God
Dave, but Dave, I'm going to tell you something. The only way they can enforce that is if they drive around in a van looking for signals.
That's what they do.
Yeah, but if you've got a TV that's not plugged in, not receiving any signal or nothing like that, then you're okay. You'll never have to pay it.
Well, over here, what they do is the TV license man will knock on your door. And you'll answer the door. Most people don't answer the door to him. Right. But that's only if you know it's the TV license man. So if you do happen to open your door, the TV license man will be like, hello, I'm the TV license man. I'm the TV license inspector, is what they say. Right. You go, hello. And he goes, I just need to ask, do you have a TV license on the property? And you go, no. And he goes, okay, bye. And then fucks off. Because there's nothing in the law or the Constitution of Ireland that says he has any right or power to investigate you or come into your house or do anything.
Especially come into your house.
Yeah. The only thing he can do is if he knows you have a TV and he can prove it, he can call the police and they can get him entry.
Yeah. Is that easy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and if he's wrong, you don't have a TV, oh, he's fucked. He's losing his job.
Yeah, I would say, that wouldn't be tolerated over here anyway.
No. What I usually do, TV license man knocks on the door, I just tell him, I have a computer, go away, don't come back. And they don't come back usually. Usually the only time you see the TV license man is when you move into a new house.
Okay, it's coming in to inspect.
No. Eventually, just seeing there's a new tenant, it's kind of like a scam. He'll come around because he knows there's a new tenant in the house and be like, do you have a TV? And he'll be like, no, go away. And that's what he does. He goes away.
Yeah, but it's not as if you get.
He's hoping that you'll go, yeah, I do have a TV. Oh shit, here's the money.
Give me a license. It's not as if it's you're getting a lot of stations either, is it?
No, you only get 2.
Yeah. So frig, they want a license on top of that? Go frig themselves.
No, I mean, like that's what the license is for. There's national TV Irish TV stations called RT1 and RT2, and both of them are garbage. Okay. I don't ever watch them, never.
Right.
But if you have a TV license, that's what they're saying you need the TV license for. If you own a TV set, you can pick up those channels, so you have to pay for those channels.
Huh.
But there's no like, hey, how about this? How about if I don't watch those channels? Can I not pay the license? No, you have to pay it.
So you have a television, right?
Yeah.
How many stations are you getting?
None.
Because
I don't have any TV.
Oh, I thought you said you had a TV.
I used to.
Okay.
Well, I don't like. You have to pay for your stations here. Like you have to get a satellite and all that shit.
Oh, you can't get satellite?
No, you can, but you have to get one. Then
I see.
If I do that, if I got into TV stations, like if I got one of those Sky TV boxes,
Yeah.
I'd probably get like 600-700 channels for about $100 a month or $60 a month, something like that.
And that's the way to go, though, eh?
No, fuck that, man. I love the internet. I'd never go back to watching TV.
Well, I mean, yeah, but when you're talking to people that are in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, they're not inclined to be on the computer as much, no?
No, yeah, you're right.
Right? Like, I mean, I've been involved in computers
But
ever
eventually
since they
we
came
will
out.
be.
You'll be what?
Those old people, we will be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But the times will have changed, right? I mean, it'll be
Well, that's
by the
what-
time your grandchildren grow up, I mean, freaking, they're going to be laughing at the way you do computing nowadays.
Yeah. It's kind of like in that film Back to the Future where Marty McFly goes into the fucking shop where you buy ice cream sodas or something, and he notices there's a computer game in the corner, an arcade machine. There's some kids hovering around it wondering, how the fuck does this thing work? And he goes in, plugs it in, and shows them how it works. And
Pinball machine.
like, yeah, no, it's a shooting game. There's a gun on it, and you shoot cowboys popping up. Yeah, and the kids are look at him. He's fucking awesome at the game. He kills everyone, headshots, bang, 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 bang. Everyone's dead. And he's like, yeah, what do you think of that, little kids? And they look at him like going, that's a baby's toy. What are you doing? Like, they were just completely shitting all over the fucking game because they thought it was garbage. They were into fucking virtual reality or something. But it's kind of like what you're saying there. Like, the kids will shit all over stuff that's from the generation before. They'll get their own stuff. So it's kind of like the difference between older people now are still watching TV, but like kids who are like coming up to 20, whatever, they're all on the internet. And kids that are little babies now, but in 20 years, what the fuck will the kids be doing then? Will they be using the internet? Will they be using TV? What the fuck will they be using to get their entertainment?
Who knows by then, right?
Yeah, you probably have some kind of socket on your neck where you plug a cable into your head. You just go online. Like a Futurama or something.
Yeah, I would be a bit surprised, man. Not a bit surprised. When you take a look at the advances of what we've done so far in civilization from the 1900s.
Elon Musk already has it.
Oh, he has the implant, right?
I seen this guy, there's this stuff called body modification or biomodification.
Yeah.
This guy put a little microchip in his arm.
Thing.
Yeah. This guy put a little microchip in his arm. It's just, they're only testing this stuff out now. This guy put a little microchip in his arm. And what a microchip does is it lets him open his house, his garage, whatever. He just has to walk up and basically put his arm near a certain area. Like in his garage door will open, his house door will open, his license switch on and off.
Oh, yeah.
All this shit. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I wouldn't get it done, though. I'm not putting fucking microchips in my body.
What happens if you moved?
I don't know.
Get it switched out. You take the mechanisms that are programmed for it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little tiny microchip as well. It's literally he
It's
just got
all in the system.
needle. He just got a needle and insert. He just basically.
It's a pretty big needle, actually, but
it's like a grain of rice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that big. Doesn't look like it's going to hurt. Put it that way.
Well, it's not like it's going to hurt if they would. Wouldn't be the same as if they cut you open, but it's going to still hurt. It's going to be a stab.
Oh, it'll be a stab, all right.
It didn't look like it was going to hurt to me anyway. I used to get stung regularly by like 20 bees a day. I'm telling you right now, I know for a fact. You get stung by a bee enough times, you don't feel it anymore.
I never experienced that.
Okay, well, after you get stung about 50 times, you're not going to feel the stings anymore. And I don't mean like, oh, you have to get... I mean like a bee will sting you and you won't feel it.
Really? Never been down that road.
Well, it's kind of like you're immune to the stings or something. I used to be out working and I'd look down at my arm and there's a fucking bee hanging out of my arm. Like stuck to me because it stuck its thing into me and it It's still there.
Couldn't rip off.
Well, we have
Couldn't
a
rip
big thing
itself
over
off.
here. We have a big thing over here, Dave, where our bees are starting to diminish on us, and we're only just starting to figure out how it could be pesticides that have been causing this, eh? So there's been a huge decline in the population of bees in Canada and the United States. So it's nice to see. Yeah, you sure can send us over some of the
a box of wasps.
Yeah, box of wasps.
Yeah, box of wasps.
Yeah, killer bees.
Killer bees, yeah, Africanized. We'll send you some of the Africanized back.
Yeah. Really, that would change things a bit, wouldn't it?
I don't think they'd live here. It's too cold.
We didn't think they'd live here, but here they
Especially
are.
up in Canada. We didn't think they live up here in Canada, but they make it.
I've been attacked by them, dude.
What,
They
African?
ain't nothing nice. Africanized honeybees. They're the crossbreed between the African bees and American honeybees.
Yeah, basically it's because the African honeybees, they hatch sooner, don't they? And they can get into the other hives and cause damage before it can be detected. And they take over.
Well, they just go in and take over hives anyway.
Yeah, they take over the queen,
aggressive.
don't they? They take the queen over, don't they?
They'll just wait. They'll go in and invade a hive that has already constructed. They'll kill everything in the hive and take the hive.
So they kill the queen as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They don't want none of the regular bees. They want everything in there to be Africanized afterwards.
Oh, okay. Huh. Well, isn't that something?
But the African bees that were originally, they weren't aggressive either. Not the way Africanized honeybees are.
Okay.
It wasn't until they crossbreeded that they got the aggressive trait, like it is.
And there's no sign of them going away soon, is there?
No, they're expanding their territory. They're moving north.
It's like the fire ants.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Fucking fire
Crazy.
Ants.
Yeah, man.
I don't think we have those. Don't think we have ants, but we don't have fire ants. Thank fuck.
We have a huge variety of ants here, but the main ones you'll see is what's called harvester ants. They're out collecting leaves off of mesquite trees, but they don't eat the leaves from the mesquite trees. They take it down into their hole and feed it to a fungus that they grow. They farm their own food. They eat the harvest, the fungus that they grow.
Oh, isn't that wild?
Yeah, that's one of those fucking.
They're harvester ants, yeah.
So it's like an intelligent civilization of its own.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. They're farming their own food, like what we do, humans. Humans is the only other creature to do that, I think.
And they've been doing it for way longer than we have.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Fucking ants. Don't like ants though. Little pinchy bastards.
Ants, all species of ants put together, ants move more earth than humans do.
Huh, never knew that.
Yeah. But they're aerating the earth. They're making little holes all down in the soil and bringing that shit up and scattering it on the surface.
Yeah. We do a different kind of digging where we just dig everything up and fucking mine what we want and we just wreck it. We leave it fucked afterwards.
Yep. You know, the state I live in was founded pretty much on copper mining. Gold mining and copper mining. And copper mines support a lot of people in this state.
Still?
Yeah, oh God, yeah. But
we're always going to need copper. Copper is like one of the main elements. We mix copper into a lot of different types of metals we're going to be using for fucking thousands of years.
Yeah, but where you have copper, you have gold too, right?
Yeah.
And the gold basically pays for the copper mines.
Yeah, yeah.
They take the gold with the copper, and the gold pays everything, the overhead, the wages, all of it. Everything that the mine makes on copper is basically icing on the cake.
Yeah, it's 100% profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same up here when I worked at the mines here in Hudson Bay, mining and smelting. It's the same thing. They mine for copper, but the gold pays for the wages and all the overhead. Same thing.
Yep.
People here mainly, the mining was for coal. I think.
Are they still going though?
Coal mines, yeah. Not
because you're burning them. You're burning them back home though, right? You burn coal back home, no?
Yeah, most people in Ireland burn fossil fuels.
Right. But you're exporting a lot of coal as well, are you?
I don't know. I have no clue. Possibly, maybe.
Yeah. Because I know Canada's gotten right away from it.
Russia and China export huge amounts of coal, I think.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like totally. When we mine coal, I'm pretty sure we do it a lot more eco-friendly than they do. When they mine coal, they just destroy whatever they're mining. Like they don't really have.
Oh, they don't pay any
they don't standards.
Pay. Yeah, they don't pay any standards or anything like that.
All this stuff, yeah.
Nothing.
So I seen a video on the internet of in Russia, they were filtering coal. You know how to filter coal? They'll take a giant truckload of coal and just drop it down a big coal chute, full of meshes that will separate the coal into different sizes.
Okay.
And there was a guy shoveling. There's a guy in the back of the truck shoveling coal out, pushing it down to make it basically avalanche down this little hole. He got fucking sucked down with all the coal. No one gave a shit.
No,
he was pushing coal down the hole, and all of a sudden he's gone. He just sucks down the hole, and the guys are like, fuck. And he just got back into the truck and started driving away.
That's too much.
Are you okay? You're still alive or anything? Just fuck him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Russia for you, though. They don't give a shit about it.
Yeah, no fucking nothing for human life, eh?
It was kind of like he was paid, so fuck him. We save his wages for today. We get his wages. Fuck him.
I mean, no mention whether he was thrown in there or whether he got sucked in there, right?
Well, it looked like to me he got sucked in. It was his own fault. He was.
It's his own fault. It wasn't his employer's. It wasn't his employer's fault to make sure that he had all the safety equipment necessary.
Well, yeah, that too. But I mean, if I was him, or if any of us was him, I guarantee you we would have been a lot more fucking careful around that hole. This guy was dancing around the fucking hole.
Can you imagine? Fuck.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to the toilet
next.
What he was doing? He was standing on a stack of marbles beside a hole full of fucking razor blades. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't stand on ground that's shifting around under my feet.
No.
Beside a hole full of fucking shit that's designed to mince you.
No. I hear you there, man.
Yeah. It's magical. How's your grow? How's your grow doing?
It's going good. Actually, I did my harvest 3 days ago, and I've already got my veg starting in now.
Yeah.
And I'm just switching that over to flour today. So in another 2 months, I'll have another harvest.
Sweet.
So yeah.
What are you vegging right now?
Same thing, Gorilla Glue 4.
Gorilla Glue. What, you love that strain, yeah?
Yeah, it's well, I'm kind of getting a bit fed up of it now. I'm gonna grow it one more time, and then I'm switching to gelato.
Gelato.
Yeah, just plain gelato.
Gelatos.
Yeah,
just plain gelato.
This is just a plain gelato. It's supposed to be like a 30% THC range.
What kind of mix is it? Is it sativa, indica? What's going on
there? I'd be lying if I told you. I think it's. I'd be lying if I told you, Dave. I'm not sure to tell you the truth. I've got
some seeds.
a ton of seeds. I got like not a ton, but I've got a fair amount, right?
Yeah,
And
I'm
I know
starting
we
to build
were
up a healthy collection myself, actually.
yeah, but all the ones I got are females, just because I don't have the room to play around with male and female like that. You know what I mean? Like if you were to see where I work out of, you'd understand. It's very compact and it's made just to do the job, and that's it.
I don't really mind messing around with males and females, but I'd definitely like to get a few femmes, like, just to make sure, guarantee I'm gonna pop a few female seeds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're not necessarily like, okay, like I said, I have femmes, right? I've got some femmes that I want to get rid of, right?
Yeah.
And the one femmes in particular, they're around 15% THC.
15% THC. Say CBD in them.
That's what I should say. They're a CBD plant, but they've only got about 15% THC in them.
Oh.
And I think it's got like that again in CBD. It's a big strain, like it's a high THC strain for CBD.
Mm.
I've got that.
Yeah.
I've got that. I don't really even want them because I don't like CBD myself. It's just a personal thing, right? I tried it and it wasn't for me. And I have them, and I have. Just hold on a sec. I'll just have a quick look. All right.
Yeah, no problem. Hamilton sent me some seeds, some rare bird seeds, and it's called Power Plant, feminized. There's 5 of them. You still there, Bugsy? No one's listening to me. Everybody's gone.
Yeah, I'm just looking through here now. I tell you what I can do. Let me see what the heck I got here.
Yeah, Hamilton sent me some fucking sound of them as well. Like, I checked how much they're worth. They're like 60 quid. He sent me 5 Power Plant feminized seeds. But I don't know if I'm gonna even bother growing this strain because it says I checked it out online, and it says it's like a sativa, but it also like it's a very strong sativa where its THC content is like 25. But it said on the the effects it has on you, it says can cause paranoia and shit because it's such a high THC amount. And I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm even going to grow this.
I have I have white OG.
Yeah.
I can give you some of them. They're femmes. I've got Power Africa.
Power Africa. That one sounds interesting.
They're femmes.
Nice.
I have. Let me see what I got here. I can give you one Pineapple Express.
Ooh. Nice. Is that femme?
That's like they're all femmes I'm talking.
They're all femmes. Oh.
I've got
I like the pineapple strains.
I'll
definitely take the Pineapple Express off you. I like the pineapple strains. I've always wanted one.
Yeah. And I have a couple of autos you can have.
Sweet.
So let me see. So I've got, what do I have? I have, let's see. So I'll give you a Bruce Banner, number 3.
Bruce Banner. Nice.
I'll give you a Gorilla Glue number 4. 2 of them. And I'll give you a Pineapple Express. And and something else here. I've got. Oh, and I told you I got the Africa and all that. So I got
Power Africa.
All together, I got the OG. I got the OG White, Power Africa, Bruce Banner, Pineapple Express, and that's about it. I'll probably send you a bunch of the OG and the Power Africa. They're the ones that are CBD
Sweet.
and THC.
Yeah. Sweet.
So,
What would you recommend are
what's
the
the mail
best?
things back where you are?
Say that again?
What's the mail like? Like if I mail it, how long would it take to get to you? Any idea?
About a month or so. You want to put a tracking number on it as well, because when you put a tracking number on it, it guarantees it's going to get here.
Should I write something inside of them saying like these are souvenirs only or something, or
No, not really.
doesn't matter?
I don't know. Hamilton, when he sends me something like that, he always marks it as a gift.
As a gift, okay.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying inside the box, you don't want me to put anything on there like.
Well, the name of the seeds would be great. The name of the seeds would be great.
Yeah,
maybe if you remember where you bought them, because then I could like go on the site, find the strain, find out.
Yeah,
like,
I've got these seeds for about a year, 2 years. I forget because I bought a whole whack of them at once, and they were all different breeders.
Yeah. I'll definitely take them off it. You want that in return? Do you want me to send you $20 for shipping or something?
No, I'm good. Just all I need is just the particulars.
Yeah.
And as soon as I get the particulars, I can. I've got everything else. I just have to take it to the post office then.
No problem. I'll get you on Instagram later on.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of seeds myself though. None of them are famous. They're all photos. But I got some alright strains. I got a shitload of random ones that I know I'm probably gonna give them to some friends when they start growing.
Yeah. Well.
But actual strains, I got Candyland. Something called Choca Sour. I don't know what that is, but I reckon that's a good strain. I'm looking at the seeds right now and they look fucking beautiful. Big fat seeds with a nice little coat of wax on them. But they've also got like white edges. They got streaks of white on them, which is kind of cool.
Huh.
I got Northern Lights, but those seeds are shit. They don't work.
They don't work.
Here's the ones I got. Yeah, they don't pop proper. They're crap. They must be old or something. But here's two strains I got that I fucking love. Well, I love growing them so far. I don't know about fucking smoking them. I have to wait to get to that yet. But Blackwater and Chemdog.
Blackwater?
Yeah, a strain called Blackwater. A friend of mine, I think, bred it.
Huh.
But the Chemdog is fucking awesome. That plant, I'm growing it. That's a great plant. Can't wait to get some smoke off it.
Are they starting to get smelly?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Saying the fucking stink. I can't open the tent to water my plants without getting smacked in the face with a big, huge, like a cloud of stink.
So I guess you got to be careful with your door then, eh?
Yeah. No, I got a carbon filter. I got one a couple months back. About a month or two ago.
They're not cheap, are they?
No, they're not. I got a cheap one. I got one for $30.
Oh, that's not bad then. I just spent $200 on mine.
I'm a head case. I'll search everywhere.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a cheap little Chinese one for $30. Does the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's smaller than the ones you guys get, but it's charcoal.
As long as it works.
Yeah, it works.
That's the main thing, right? You don't want the whole neighborhood smelling like pot, do you?
Yeah, maybe.
Wouldn't matter, right?
It's gonna be smelling like fucking pot when this is all done. Cured. I tell you that much. Yeah.
Well, I'm in an area where people always want to know your business sort of type thing. So I always have a carbon filter on so nobody smells anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like it's legal where you are. Why do you care?
Yeah, but I just don't want people knowing my business.
You mean you don't want them knowing you have the weed, so they don't come around asking for lens a week, like lend us a few grams, will you?
I don't mind if they know. I don't mind if they know that I'm smoking weed. I just don't want them to know that I'm growing it. That's on a need-to-know basis.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the same for me. But like, it's not legal here. If I was in York, if I was living in Canada, I wouldn't give a fuck who knew I was growing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like for me, the whole I don't want them knowing is a legal thing, so I don't get put in jail, basically.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna do you no good in jail, that's for sure.
I think I get why you do your way though. You don't want to, because you're kind of old school. You're probably still stuck in your way of it's still in the back of your head somewhere. It's still illegal. So you're like, I don't want to know.
I think you might have a point there. Yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
kind of like just don't want people to think any different than what they thought of me a year ago, 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
I don't want
look
them
at
to
Magical, the
forming
pothead.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't care. I don't care what they think. I just don't want to give them the invitation to think, you know?
Right. Don't
I'm
invite
private as
them
well. I'm
to
a private
think.
person too. I like my privacy.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
It's golden.
My bird, I swear my bird makes my neck hurt. He makes me hold my shoulders differently, just enough to make it hurt. When he's sitting on my shoulder, he's not heavy at all. Like when he first gets on there, it's like there's nothing there. But after so long, you realize you're holding one side more to keep square or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
My phone's blowing up. I'll be back in 1 second.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
So what do you say you're growing, Bugsy?
I've got 3 purple Pennywise going. 2 VN Louis.
Huh.
VN Louis are a cross between the Vietnamese white or the Vietnamese black, one of those.
They came from the seed bank?
Came from one of the places. The head shops here now sell seeds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are
Since
they
it got legal, it became fully legal. It became fully legal.
Are they reliable?
I don't know. They're growing.
Are they
Those
femmes
are
or regs?
regular.
Regulars? And you don't know whether they're female or not yet, right?
No.
Oh.
But I know all 3 of my purple Pennywise are female, and my clone is putting out green leaf, so it's re-vegging. So it should start growing. It'd probably be a short, squat plant.
Huh.
I got 2 others.
I would have I thought you would want some trees out there, for crying out loud.
I have Sour Dream, which I think is a cross between Sour Diesel and Blue Dreams.
Well, that should be that's sativa then, eh?
Huh?
Is that sativa?
Those sativa, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say because the sour diesel sativa, right?
But it is marked as a sativa strain.
Uh-huh.
I don't normally pay that much attention to the back genealogy of the plants. I don't really care what's crossed with what, as long as it's something I like, you know.
Yeah.
And the purple Pennywise has been something I've liked. That has been. It's not a tremendous head high. It really isn't. It is a bedtime one, and it makes you want to sleep. It's high CBD, kind of low THC, but it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So when you have CBD that's this high, which is 15%, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
good.
Bugsy. Sorry for interrupting. Ginger Snaps is blowing my phone up. She said Hamilton's live.
Hamilton's live.
Yeah, apparently. Oh. Someone's fucking going live randomly, man. Oh. I don't know what he's doing over there, though. I didn't check if he is actually live. It's just Ginger Snaps just told me he's live.
Let me check a little wee peek, see if I can see anything.
Actually, there's no need to go running straight over there. Let him do his own thing for half an hour. We go over eventually.
Yeah, I know he's been over there for some time. I just don't know if he's on there. Is he still open? Yeah, he's on. He's live. Yep, he's live.
Got to be starting something. Got to be starting something. That's Hamilton. This is his theme song. Theme tune.
God damn.
Is he going off about something? He only goes live like this when he's going off about something. You go live about my time about... Oh no, wait, it's 8 o'clock already. Okay, maybe he's knocking off about something. I thought it was like 4 p.m.
Well, I'm going to pop off, guys. I'm going to get your seeds ready, Dave, while there's still some daylight in this day here. And I'll catch you guys later. All right?
Yep.
Have a good one, Magical.
Well.
Okay, bye-bye,
Thanks for sorting me out with some seeds. I've been looking for femmes for a good while.
Yep.
Yep. And they're expensive, so cheers. Oh. My garden's coming along anyway. I lollipopped everything. Everything's trimmed. One of my plants, I might have fucked it up, though. I might have fucked one of my plants. But it was like the worst one anyway. So I'm not stressing about it. Be honest with you, if it fails and starts to die, I'll be happy to get rid of it because I want to get room in my tent anyway. I've said it about 80 times.
Does it already have buds on it?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's flowering. It's what? I'm
Hang
not
it
too.
up.
I'm not too. No,
Cut
it's
it,
not.
cut it
No, it
down
doesn't
and
have
hang it
flower.
up.
No, it doesn't have flower. It has like it's covered in pistils. But like the branches, the nodes on it, the branches for the nodes are skinny. They're very skinny. So like, I reckon if that plant does like flower out and I get it buds off it, I'm probably going to just gift it to someone. I've a couple of people in the town I know a long time, so I'll just gift it to one of them. You want some larf? They don't even know what larf is anyway. Most of the people around here, like, that's a grower's term. Like most people here, larf is they just call it weed. It's weed. Shit weed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just grower's term for the shitweed.
Yeah, larf. But that's the people here that no one really... I don't know any growers. They're all secretive. Like, so... you don't really learn terms like that here. You just know, like, it's weed. Weed is weed.
I remember when it was like that here. It wasn't too long ago.
Well,
I never.
like
I really.
It's kind of bullshitty.
I really never thought it would be
legal
here. I thought.
Yeah, Magical was saying that too.
I don't know. I've always seen Canada as a more liberal place than the U.S.
Yeah, it is.
I figured they'd legalize long before any of us down here.
You ask me, Canada's more European than American. Like, it's connected to America, but they don't go on like America. They're kind of more European-ish in their attitude towards stuff. Like in Ireland, we're very open society. Like, we don't believe in not letting immigrants in, let's say, for instance. Like, I remember about 20 years ago, there was something going on in some country. What was it? I can't remember. Some Ukraine or something. But like a bunch of people are getting moved out of Ukraine or getting forced out. And Ireland was one of the first countries to say, bring them here, we'll take them. Like, we've always been like that. The country, I mean, not me. But it comes down to, all the bullshit we went through as a country trying to be our own country. We see it happening to someone else. We're kind of like, we're there with you. We're fucking brothers in the fight against the man. It's kind of like, remember you telling a story about, what was it, the American natives? Which tribe was it again?
The Navajos.
Yeah, the Navajos sent us money. We remember that. We were taught that in school.
Yeah.
Like the Navajo people donated money to Ireland during the famine. We actually remember that. We teach that in school. We remember that very well. Like you said, we helped them out back when we could.
Yep.
Well, like when I was talking earlier about the Queen and English people being bad to Ireland, like they're our neighbor, they're our closest neighbor, bar the Island of Man, which and they didn't donate anything. They donated £5 towards the Irish famine, and they were like literally at that point in time they were in Ireland, benefiting from everything that went in and out of Ireland, and they only donated £5. That's also taught in school. So, John, do you want to jump over to Hamilton? You want to stay here?
Well, I don't know.
It's up to you, it's your stream. Well, I don't think you got to end your stream just because Hamilton went late.
Well, I'm not looking for...
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, I mean,
welcome for half an hour. Welcome.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. It'd be different if he sent me a message saying I went live. Then I'd probably say, let's go over to Hamilton, but he didn't send me that message now, did he? Fucker.
He needs a while to do his monologue anyway.
Yeah. I like when he does that. I don't like to interrupt that either. I like to let him get the first hour in on his own. Because it's his channel. He needs to be the cornerstone of that fucking shit. Like, we can't be up there all the time, taking up all the attention.
I mean, unless it's specifically he wants people up to have a sesh, then we can go jump up, you know?
Yeah. That's what I always used to do. I never used to ask for the link. Never used to want to come up because I always think, me personally, I always think I'm boring and I don't want to be taking up all the fucking attention, annoying people on Hamilton's panel and shit. But like, stopped giving a shit about 6 months ago.
But you know, that's true. But in the same time, I do like a channel that, like when you go over to Jezzy's, the dude asks her for the link fucking 20 times, and the whole time the link is in the description. You know. Yeah.
Well, you're talking about Tyler. I know Jezzy a long time. I know Jezzy about 2 years.
Yeah.
It's just about 2 years now. Yeah. And like that's in YouTube years, that's forever, right? So I know Jezzy about 2 years, and I know everyone that hangs around Jezzy's channel. And the guy you're talking about is Tyler. Tyler's a bit of a troll. He's a bit of an arsehole. What he'll do is he will just literally pester Jezzy, drop the link, drop the link, drop the link. And when she does finally drop the link, he won't use it.
Yeah.
They're all right in their own way, and then they all have their own like issues as well. Like everyone in Jezzy's community seems to have a problem with someone else in the community. Like it's like UFC or something. This guy's that guy's rival, and this other person is that person's rival. And don't get in between them because they'll fucking kill you.
That's crazy.
Oh, I can tell you some shit, man. You know, there's a guy in Jezzy's chat pops up sometimes, Slab City.
Yeah.
Get it? His name is Evan. You might see people saying Evan. That's Evan. Me and Evan used to have a lot of problems with each other. And it all basically stems from him being sometimes a giant ass fucking troll. He'd come into Jezzy's channel and just start shit. There's also other people over there that have their own way of starting shit. They're not intending to mess Jezzy's channel up or ruin her chat or anything. That's just how they do YouTube. Evan wants to troll people sometimes, and then sometimes he doesn't want to troll people. And when he doesn't want to troll people, he wants to be taken serious. But people never know when he's trolling and when he's not. Yeah.
Little boy who cried wolf story.
Yeah.
Yeah. You troll enough, no one knows when to take you seriously. You can't expect to be taken seriously once you're that much of a troll.
Yep. There's a lot of good people over in Jezzy's chat, and there's a lot of fucking terrible people too, though.
Yeah, I've enjoyed speaking to Azel.
Yeah, Azel's a good friend of mine.
There's a couple others I've really enjoyed meeting.
Oh, you know John McDonald?
Yeah.
I've always suspected he's someone from Jezzy's chat.
But he's a troll.
The reason I suspect he's from Jezzy's chat is because there's an older woman over there called Joanne Z71. You don't see her a lot anymore, but she does come. She comes around Hamilton sometimes. Sometimes she comes up in Jezzy's when Jezzy lets her. Her and Jezzy also have problems. But one time Joanne went up in Hamilton's and John McDonald went off on Joanne, a very familiar way. If you know what I mean. Started saying things that was not like, it's like it wasn't John McDonald, like, I put it that way. It was very Slab City like.
Oh.
So I think John McDonald might be Evan. Yeah, but it's commonly known, like, I'm not busting a bubble for anyone. Anyone who knows Evan and knows John McDonald probably thinks Evan is John McDonald because of the way he behaves sometimes. And I'm pretty sure John knows that I know as well because I've dropped hints here and there. I used to think John was a guy called Digger. Digger is a friend of Evan. They both like hate Joanne with a passion for I don't even know why. That's kind of a beef. You don't want to, get in the middle of it. You don't want to get in the middle of that. If they're doing their thing and they're trolling each other, just stay out of it. That's what I do. But Joanne's my friend. And when someone goes off on Joanne like that and she's undeserving of it, I'll just tell them fuck off. And I'm not dealing with your bullshit. But like, I'm not going to let you go off on Joanne like that for no fucking reason. There's just all these clicks and stuff. Like, you don't notice it at first when you start hanging around these circles, but you start noticing more and more over time. There's like clicks and circles. Certain people are communicating back and forth, and after a while you start picking up on it. You start noticing these people are better friends than these other people, or this person like really hates that person's guts. And you hang around long enough, you'll find out why. The story will come out. Someone will in a chat somewhere, because you're all subscribed to all the same people, so you'll be watching all the same people, and eventually you'll be in some random chat somewhere, and you'll just see something. You'll be like, "Oh, that now explains a lot." Since I started hanging around all these communities, that's happened to me about 10 times, where I just see some explosive argument happen. A bunch of shit comes out, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I never realized all of this was going on. Happens more often than you think. Okay, I gotta go toilet. I'm gonna jump off. I gotta go toilet.
All right, Dave. Yeah, I'll see you over at Hammy's.
Yeah, I'll see you over at Hammy's about 15, 20 minutes. See you then, right?
Alrighty.
All right, see you.
Later. All right, everybody. I'm going to go over there, see what he's up to. Have a good one. Peace.